Semantics of hell. When discussing the topic, we unfortunately cannot avoid semantics because of the way words have been translated from the original language into English. This is why when we discuss the concept of hell, what most Christians understand by it is not necessarily what is meant in the original text. This confusion is exacerbated by the fact that translators have at times translated different Greek words with different meanings using the same English word hell. This is why most people understand hell as an eternal place of fury torment for condemned souls. But does this understanding come from scripture or from tradition? For instance, the word hell in passages such as Matthew chapter 16 and Luke chapter 16 comes from the Greek word Hades. What is fascinating is that the authors of the New Testament specifically chose the word Hades to convey what Jesus was teaching about the afterlife. Why is this fascinating? Because at the time, the Roman and Greek world under which the Jews lived understood Hades in a very specific way. Within Greek mythology, Hades was seen as one of the gods among all of the siblings, Zeus, Poseidon, Demeter, Hera, Hestia, and others who overthrew the father, the Titan Kronos, and divided the mythological heavenly kingdom among themselves. Hades was designated to rule the underworld, where the souls of the dead would go to be judged and where the wicked would be punished. This underworld was often referred to as the House of Hades, and eventually the underworld itself became known as simply as Hades. It was within this cultural understanding that the writers of the Gospels used the word Hades to depict what Jesus was teaching about the afterlife, particularly when Jesus referred to Lazarus being in Abraham's bosom and the rich man being in a torment in Luke chapter 16. It was also within this understanding that Jesus said in Matthew chapter 16 verse 18 regarding the church he would build, and the gates of hell or Hades shall not prevail against it. The point is that the same Hades was not understood as an eternal place of torment, but rather as a temporary realm or prison until the final judgment. We see this clearly in Revelation chapter 20 verse 14. And death and the hell or Hades were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. If Hades itself is ultimately cast into the lake of fire, then Hades cannot itself be the final eternal place of punishment. Rather, Scripture distinguishes between Hades and the lake of fire, which is associated with the final judgment. Next week, we will look at the other words used in the Bible that people commonly understand as hell. Like and subscribe for more 2-minute biblical rebuttals.